Bao Island Podcast, A Journey to the West. Hey kids, welcome to Bao Island. On Bao Island, every story has a taste. Today's taste is silky oyster vermicelli in thick temple-side broth. This episode, we're in Taipei's Wanhua district. Today's story, the 72 transformations.
Welcome back to the Bao Island bus. I'm your captain. Today I've parked us right outside Longshan Temple in Wanhua, the oldest district in Taipei. This neighborhood has been here for 300 years. The temple was first built in 1738 by early settlers who crossed the dangerous Taiwan Strait and came here to start new lives. They brought a piece of the Longshan Temple from Fujian province with them, and built this one as their first act on the island.
300 years. And it's still so alive. Look at all the incense smoke. Look at all the people.
Longshan has survived earthquakes, fires, and being bombed in World War II. The main hall was destroyed in the bombing, but they say the statue of Guanyin, the goddess of mercy, was left completely unharmed in the rubble.
That gives me goosebumps.
This is a good place for today's story. Because today is about what happens when you survive something and what you do with what you've learned. There's something drifting through this incense smoke, the thick sweetness of braised broth and the salt of the sea, 300 years of Wanhua all folded into one bowl.
Excited, what is it? Tell me.
Take a guess.
Mouth full, let me take a bite first. Excitedly, first things first. I found oyster vermicelli. Right here outside the temple.
Classic Wanhua food.
Okay, so oyster vermicelli is one of Taiwan's most beloved street foods. The noodles are these thin, silky vermicelli threads in a thick broth that's been thickened with sweet potato starch, so it's a little gelatinous, super smooth. There are oysters in it, fresh, slightly briny, so tender they melt, and pieces of braised pig intestine. Then you add garlic paste and chili sauce on top. It looks like a mess. It is the best mess I have ever eaten.
You say mess like it's a good thing.
Laughing, in food, mess is almost always a good thing. Bridge, did you know that in Taiwan, noodles are a symbol of long life? You're not supposed to cut them.
That's right. On birthdays, you eat long noodles one strand, unbroken, as long as possible. It represents a long life.
Dramatically, so I must not bite these. Must slurp the whole thing at once.
Please don't choke on the noodle, Bao.
Laughing, okay, I'll take a normal bite. But I'm thinking long life thoughts.
Ready for chapter 2?
So ready.
When we left off, Sun Wukong had just arrived at the mountain school of Master Saboti and gotten his name. Now what?
He starts learning amazing powers immediately, right?
He starts sweeping floors.
Laughing, sweeping floors?
Every morning, wake up, sweep the yard, chop wood, carry water, tend the garden. The other students older, who had been there years longer, studied. Sun Wukong swept floors. And then swept more floors. For 7 years.
7 years? He sailed across 2 oceans for this?
He's a fast learner, so he picked up the basics of reading and writing quickly. He learned some songs and chants. But the real skills, the ones he'd crossed the world to find, the master wouldn't teach him. Not yet.
That is so frustrating. Why?
One day the master called all his students together for a lesson. He asked, "Who wants to learn the way of the immortals?" One by one, students raised their hands and said what they wanted to learn. One said, I want to learn how to predict the future. The master shook his head, not good enough. Another said, I want to learn how to heal sickness. The master shook his head again. Another, I want the power to never die. Shook his head again.
What was wrong with those answers?
Each answer was about getting something, a power, a protection, an advantage. The master went around the whole room and rejected every answer. Then he looked at Sun Wukong.
What did the monkey say?
Sun Wukong stood up, bowed, and said, quietly, Master, I just want to learn whatever you're willing to teach.
Quietly, oh.
The master smiled. He walked over and tapped Sun Wukong 3 times on the head with his staff. Then he turned and walked away without saying another word.
What did that mean?
The other students had no idea. But Sun Wukong understood it was a secret message. Come to my room at the 3rd night watch. 3 knocks on the back door.
Excitedly, a secret lesson.
That night, when everyone else was asleep, Sun Wukong crept to the master's quarters and knocked 3 times on the back door. The master was sitting up waiting for him. He looked at Sun Wukong for a long moment, then began to teach.
What did he teach?
Everything. The 36 heavenly transformations. Then the 72 earthly transformations. He taught him the cloud somersault. 1 flip could cover 108,000 li.
How far is that in real distance?
About 54,000 kilometers. In 1 somersault.
Excitedly, 54,000 kilometers in 1 flip? That's going around the whole Earth once.
He also taught him how to escape the 3 disasters: lightning, fire, and wind, the forces that can destroy even immortals. Sun Wukong learned every single technique perfectly. He practiced in secret, every night, while the others slept.
He finally got it. After 7 years of sweeping floors.
7 years of waiting. 1 night of teaching. That's how it often works, the long preparation, and then the moment everything unlocks.
A watched pot never boils.
Laughing, Captain has joined the Wisdom Corner.
Let's walk a bit. Wanhua is fascinating if you know where to look.
It's so different from Sydney, where we were last episode. That was all glass towers and shopping malls. Here it's old. Like, properly old. These streets have been walked by millions of people over 3 centuries.
Wanhua, the name in Taiwanese, means canoe in the language of the Katagalan, the indigenous people who lived here first. It was a river port. Traders from Fujian, China, would sail in, exchange goods, and settle down. It was the busiest harbor in northern Taiwan for most of the 1800s.
And Ximending is just around the corner, right? That's the young, fashionable area.
Right next door. Same neighborhood, completely different energy. Ximending has been Taipei's youth culture hub since the Japanese colonial era. Cinemas, fashion, street performers, bubble tea.
Old port on one side. Youth culture on the other. Wanhua contains multitudes.
A place that survived 300 years probably had to change a lot to stay alive.
Just like Sun Wukong, 72 transformations, and all.
Gasping, bridge. That's actually a great connection.
Back to the story. Sun Wukong had been practicing his transformations in secret for a while, getting better every day. Then one afternoon, his fellow students found out he had powers and started begging him to show them.
Oh no.
Sun Wukong tried to resist. But the others were so excited, so insistent, just one. Show us one. And he couldn't help himself. He said, "Fine. Tell me what to transform into." They said, "A pine tree."
A pine tree? Why a pine tree?
Don't ask me. That's what they wanted. So Sun Wukong straightened up, made the hand seal, said the magic word,
Excitedly, and
turned into a tall, magnificent pine tree. Right there in the yard.
excitedly, wow.
The students went wild, clapping and cheering and running around the tree. They were so noisy they woke up the whole mountain. And then the master appeared.
Quietly, oh.
He stood in the doorway. He looked at the pine tree. He looked at the students. He looked back at the tree. He said, dramatically, low voice, "Who is making this racket?"
Quietly, everyone went quiet.
The tree turned back into Sun Wukong. He bowed his head. The master said, "I hear you've learned to transform. And you decided to use it to show off in front of everyone. How long before word gets out? How long before someone dangerous hears about a monkey with magical powers and comes looking for you? I taught you this to protect yourself. Not to perform tricks."
Quietly, oh. The lesson wasn't for showing off. It was for staying safe.
The master said, "Sun Wukong, you have to leave.
What?
I'm sending you home. You have the skills. You don't need me anymore. And if you stay here, you'll bring trouble to the school."
That's so sad. After 7 years.
Sun Wukong knelt down. He didn't argue. He said, "Master, thank you for everything. I understand. I'll leave. But I need to ask, if I'm ever in serious trouble, can I say that I'm your student?"
Quietly, he just wanted to keep the connection.
The master's expression hardened. He said, firmly, "No. If you get into trouble and say my name, I'll make sure you regret it. I'll strip away every skill I've given you."
Shocked, he said that to him?
That was actually his final lesson.
I don't get it.
Sun Wukong had to learn to rely on himself alone. If he could always say, "My master will back me up," he'd never truly stand on his own. The master was teaching him, "You have everything you need. I've given you what I can. Now go."
Slowly, so being sent away, was part of the teaching.
The hardest part. Sun Wukong bowed one last time, turned around, and left. He never saw Master Subodhi again. And in all the hundreds of chapters that follow, the master never appears. Not once.
Quietly, he really just let him go.
That's what the best teachers do. Food break. Bao, what did you find?
Excitedly, pig blood cake. This is Wanhua street food royalty. Let me describe it. It's made from pig blood and sticky rice, pressed into a rectangular block, steamed, then skewered on a bamboo stick. The outside is coated in peanut powder, sweet, roasty, and then dipped in soy paste and topped with fresh coriander. It looks completely black.
A lot of visitors see it and aren't sure.
I know. The color is intimidating. But bite into it, the sticky rice is chewy and dense, the pig blood adds this deep, savory richness, and the peanut powder is sweet. All three things together, it just works.
It looks unremarkable, even a little scary. But every layer has a reason. Peanut, blood, rice. Three simple things, perfectly balanced.
Like the three kinds of training the master gave Sun Wukong. Body, mind, and spirit?
Body, technique, and patience. And just like the pig blood cake, you don't fully understand it until you've tried it yourself.
Eating, that's actually profound.
Sun Wukong flew home one cloud somersault, and he was back at Flower Fruit Mountain. The monkeys were overjoyed to see their king return. He walked back into the water curtain cave, sat down in his old seat, and found things were not so good.
What happened?
While he was gone, a demon called the Demon of Chaos had moved in nearby and was terrorizing his monkeys. Stealing food, kidnapping young monkeys, threatening to take over the whole mountain. The older monkeys had been trying to protect the others but couldn't stop him.
Angrily, that's awful.
Sun Wukong's eyes went cold. He said, "Don't worry. I'll handle it."
Excitedly, finally. The powers get used for real.
He flew straight to the Demon of Chaos's cave. The demon had a huge army of monsters. Sun Wukong stood at the entrance and called him out. The demon looked at this monkey and laughed. "Who are you?"
Excitedly, big mistake.
Sun Wukong said, "I am the king of Flower Fruit Mountain, and you've been hurting my family." The demon swung his massive sword. Sun Wukong pulled out a needle from his ear.
A needle?
He said, "Grow." And the needle became the golden staff, full size, in his hand. The demon's mouth dropped open. They fought and Sun Wukong defeated him completely.
Excitedly, yes.
Sun Wukong freed all the captive monkeys, brought everyone home safely, and held a great feast. But then he did something that nobody expected.
What?
He called the elders together and said, "I've been away. I have a family name now, Sunday. From now on, all the monkeys on this mountain can have the surname Sun too. We'll be a real family."
Quietly, he gave them all his name.
The one thing he'd been given, a name, belonging, identity, he shared it with everyone he loved.
That's really sweet actually.
Sun Wukong gets loud and chaotic in the stories to come. He causes enormous trouble. But this moment, quietly giving his name to his whole family, shows you what's underneath all that noise.
The giant gold ball inside the building.
Quietly, exactly.
Bridge, why exactly 72 transformations? Why not 100? Or 50?
Numbers in Chinese culture aren't random. 72 comes from ancient cosmology. 72 is the number of earthly spirits or forces that exist. To control all 72 means to master everything on earth. The 36 heavenly transformations, also from the master, are about the forces of heaven.
So together he has both heaven and earth?
Almost. But there's still one thing he doesn't have: wisdom. He has the power. He has the speed. He can become anything. But he still does reckless things. Turning into a tree to show off. That's the problem 72 transformations can't fix.
He needs to transform on the inside too.
And that is what the entire rest of the story is about.
Quietly, takes a long journey to learn that one. Time to wrap up. The incense smoke from Longshan is still drifting past us. Wanhua at dusk is something special.
Today we were in Wanhua, 300 years of Taipei's history, a temple that survived bombs and came out unbroken. We ate oyster vermicelli, silky and warm. We ate pig blood cake, black on the outside, full of flavor within. And we followed Sun Wukong through 7 years of sweeping, one secret midnight lesson, one terrible mistake with a pine tree, and the day the master said, "Go." You don't need me anymore.
He learned everything, and then the real lesson was, go do it yourself.
The master who truly teaches you prepares you to leave.
Quietly, I'm going to think about that one for a while.
What's next?
Next time we go north, Beitu Hot Springs, at the foot of Yangmingshan volcano. We'll have scallion pancakes and hot spring tofu. And Sun Wukong needs a weapon. He goes to the Dragon King's underwater palace, picks up a glowing iron pillar that's been sitting on the ocean floor for 10,000 years, and decides, this one's mine.
Excitedly, the magic staff.
Softly, the incense from Longshan is still drifting, carrying 300 years of prayers and one pine tree's lesson. On Bao Island, stories grow up with you.